Jayson Tatum publicly backs America's outrage against Steve Kerr's Olympics disrespect. Even as Team USA walked away with a gold medal at the 2024 Olympics, the debate around Jayson Tatum's playtime hasn't ended. From Bob Cousy to Dick Vitale and even Tatum's mother, everyone questioned Steve Kerr's approach. After all, Tatum was just fresh out of an NBA championship win. American rapper Vince Staples also showed his support for the Celtics star, and it seems like Tatum wasn't too happy with his treatment in Paris as he showed his displeasure on Instagram. In the 6 games that the Team USA squad played at the 2024 Paris Olympics, Jayson Tatum was benched for 2 of them. He didn't start Team USA's campaign opener against Serbia and missed out on the semifinal against the same opponent. Even in the games he appeared, the player only averaged 17.7 minutes. In comparison, LeBron James and Stephen Curry, the 2 leading scorers, averaged 24.5 and 23.3 minutes respectively. Tatum's playing time didn't even cross the top 50 mark when compared to all the players who participated in the tournament. This treatment of a player who made it to the All-NBA first team in the last 3 seasons hasn't gone down well. The 26-year-old took to his official Instagram account, resharing a tweet on his story from Vince Staples.
It's a learned experience. Over time, you learn how to deal with all the extra noise and attention, whether it's positive or not so positive. And you know, I'm a fair, smart person. I know when I'm doing things at a high level. I know when I need to do certain things better. So I'm not like oblivious to what's going on, but at the same time, just keeping the main thing, and focusing on trying to win the next game. You know, that's what's most important at this time.
Joey Mazzulla with Clutch Points. I wanted to ask just about Kyrie, and you know, he's a great player. He's had some struggles in the series. What do you think you guys are doing well against him, and do you think he's just missing open shots?
I mean, that's part of it, right? You never like completely shut a guy as talented as him out. And you've heard it a million times. With great players, you just try to make things difficult, show them different coverages, just want to make them work for everything. They're going to make shots, they're going to miss some shots. You just don't want it to be easy and for them to be comfortable. And that's with, you know, any talented player.
Tim here on the left.
Tim Reynolds with the 2 things on my the first one. Matthew Tkachuk is watching a lot of the NBA Finals. He said he's 2 wins away, you're 2 wins away. How much have you followed what they've been doing?
Yeah, I'm a big Matthew fan, right? People know that we went to school together. And I watched him win last night. Trying to learn and understand the rules in the game of hockey more and more, but you know, I got to watch the game last night and they won. So, like I said, I'm extremely happy for him and his family, and hopefully they win it all.
The other thing, it's only 2 games in the finals, and like the first question alluded to, there's all this talk about your shooting numbers. How much would that have bothered you when you were younger? Because you're up 2-0 and you're averaging pretty close to a triple-double. I know it's just 2 games, but it's not like you're playing poorly. How much does the fixation on just one number, how much does that bother you, and how much have you learned to just not worry about that stuff so much?
Yeah, I think being in the finals 2 years ago has helped me in this moment. And like I said, like I understand that I do need to be more efficient. I do need to shoot the ball better. I would not disagree with anybody on that. But you know, I'm not letting it bother me. Right, I'm still trying to find ways to impact the game and dominate the game in other areas. And I understand that they could take one game. One game I could explode, and you know, all those the percentage and things like that could change. So it's just that mindset of, you know, I'm 1 game away or whatever that means. But like I said the other day, I know what it's like to be in this position and lose. And, you know, just this time around, trying to do any and everything possible to have a different outcome. So yes, I know I need to shoot the ball better, and I plan on it, but not letting that affect everything else that I need to do on the court to help us win.
Sam, standing over on the left.
Sam Amick, The Athletic. Jayson, your coach just had a fascinating discussion with this gentleman in the front row from Brazil, essentially comparing you to Neymar and the idea that superstars get scrutiny and he thinks a lot of it is unfair. Does that mean a lot to you? And behind the scenes, have you guys had those kind of talks where you contextualize the spotlight component of your experience?
Yeah, and that's one thing I truly do appreciate Joe, aside from being, I think, an excellent coach, is that I truly do believe that he cares about us, our team as individuals, and obviously myself, the conversations that we have, and he always, through the season, the summertime, and obviously through this postseason, have had days where he's called me into his office, and not necessarily talk about X's and O's, but check on me as a person, and how I'm dealing with everything, and that does mean a lot for somebody to take time out of his day to show that compassion or whatever, and just know that he's there for me. That relationship between yourself and the coach is important, and that's something I truly value about the relationship that me and Joe have.
Having watched Team USA's gold medal Olympic run and how the 2024 NBA champion mostly occupied the bench, Staples tweeted, "We will avenge Jayson Tatum on Sunday." By highlighting the message to his 8 million-plus follower base, the player is not hiding his true feelings anymore. Earlier on August 9th, Kerr defended his decision to bench Tatum for the most part. "It's not what I'm not seeing from Jayson. It's what I've seen from the other guys," the Golden State Warriors head coach said. Prioritizing 12 players in a 5-man team, when all 12 of them performed exceptionally during the recent NBA season, is no easy task. Tatum may have accepted this fact, but he still wasn't happy about it. Tatum played for a total of 71 minutes in Paris, the second fewest number in the team. Kerr did rotate his team, but Tatum often found himself looking in from the outside. Tatum averaged 5.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.5 assists during the Olympics, numbers not befitting of someone who drove the Boston Celtics to end a 16-season championship drought. As it turns out, Vince Staples isn't the only known figure who was not pleased with Steve Kerr's apparent treatment of the player. Celtics legend Bob Cousy told the Boston Globe that Tatum being benched wasn't just a snub. He added, "This is an embarrassment for that poor kid all over the expletive world. The Olympics have gotten that big. Everyone's going to think that there's something wrong this kid." Former college head coach and basketball sportscaster Dick Vitale was also baffled with Kerr's tactics. He tweeted, "Someone Paulus let me know is at JTatum0 injured as he hasn't received the PT, playing time, you would expect an all-NBA player to get." Tatum's mother, Brandy Cole, responded to the tweet and wrote, "No, he not. But if you find out what's going on, please let me know. Unacceptable and makes no sense." Last season for the Celtics, Tatum averaged 26.9 points, 7th highest in the league. He also averaged 8.1 rebounds and 4.9 assists during the franchise's march to the championship. Former Milwaukee Bucks point guard and 2021 NBA champion Jeff Teague stated that Jayson Tatum being benched will have long-term consequences, as the player's reputation in the domestic league may not remain the same, while Boston Celtics owner Wyc Grousbeck held the belief that, to him, Steve Kerr's decision-making regarding his player is a mystery. Jayson Tatum may go on to hold some resentment at the moment. Will it mean his future with Team USA, especially at the 2028 LA Olympics, is in doubt?
It's a real feeling. Still hasn't really kicked in yet. Just trying, I guess, enjoy the moment. I kept saying, wow. These last 7 years have been a roller coaster, up and down. I had to listen to all the shit that people said about me. And tonight, it was worth it. Oh my God. be able to say we did it, that we came together and we won a championship. Banner number 18 has been hanging over our head for so many years. To know that we're going to be engraved in history. And it still hasn't like registered. I'm just still trying to process it all. But we did it. We won a championship.
Over here on the left side.
Jayson, I'm curious to know what you said to Deuce after this, but I guess I'm more curious, what did Deuce say to you?
Yeah, he told me that was the best in the world. I said, you damn right I am.
Gary, third seat.
That it was all the sacrifice was worth it. I'm so thankful to have been in the positions that I was growing up. Thankful for my mom, thankful for my dad introducing me to basketball, my grandmother who helped raise me, all my friends and family that have supported me, every coach, every teammate that I've had. There's a lot of people that have had a hand in the success of Jayson Tatum. So I guess in this moment, I'm just very thankful for everybody that supported me in the highest of moments and in the lowest of moments. I'm very, very appreciative of that.
Matt, over here on the left, second row.
Jayson, given that this is a night you'll remember forever, what does it mean to you to have had the game that you had tonight, to not only win, but to have been aggressive and to have played the way that you played in a championship-winning game?
I mean, this is going to be a night that I will remember for the rest of my life. The game, the celebration, these moments. Over the last couple of years, we've had some tough losses at home in the playoffs. And we've lost the NBA championship at home in front of our fans. We had a chance to beat Miami in Game 6 a few years ago and lost that one. So to have a big win, the biggest win that you could have in front of your home crowd, I felt like that was really important to go out there and do everything in my power to make sure we won this game tonight.
Ramona, left side, fifth row.
Hey, Jayson, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. I know you've talked a lot about Kobe Bryant as one of your idols and somebody you've had in your game after and your motivation after. Now, and once you finally win a championship, now that you can say, I know what it took, right? What did it actually take? Was there something from Kobe that you learned? Was it just something you learned on your own throughout this journey? What did it actually take to get over that hump?
It took being relentless. It took, being on the other side of this and losing in the finals and being at literally the lowest point in a basketball career that you could be. To next year, to the following year, thinking that was going to be the time and come up short again. So, I mean, people have said it before, but coming up short and having failures makes this moment that much better. Because you know what it feels like to lose. You know what it feels like to be on the other side of this and be in a locker room and hearing the other team celebrating, having them celebrate on your home floor. Like, that was devastating. And now, to elevate yourself in a space that all your favorite players are in, everybody that they consider greats or legends have won a championship. All the guys I looked up to won a championship, multiple championships. So now I can like walk in those rooms and be a part of that. It's a hell of a feeling. This is more. I dreamed about what it would be like, but this is 10 times better.
Cassidy, last question in the back.
Cassidy Hubbard, ESPN. Jayson, when Jalen won Finals MVP, the first thing he did was look at you and said, "We did this together." What did that mean to you?
First of all, congrats to him. Well deserved. Extremely happy for him. This is a hell of an accomplishment. the main goal for us was to win a championship. We didn't care who got Finals MVP. I know that I need him through this journey, and he needs me. It was great to see him have that moment and share that moment with him. I'm extremely happy for him, well deserved. That was big time. He earned it.
Thank you.
Jayson Tatum provides an update 2028 LA Olympics plans. The next Olympics will be prominent for the Team USA squad. After all, it will be taking place on their home turf, right in the vibrant city of Los Angeles. While three big players from the 2024 squad, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant, may not look to return due to them being in their 40s, other young athletes like Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton are highly expected to shine. While Tatum was not happy with how things panned out in Paris, he has chosen to not rule out the 2028 LA Olympics for now. It was a tough personal experience on the court, but I'm not going to make any decisions off emotions, Tatum said, as reported by Adam Himmelsbach of the Boston Globe. Opening up on his LA 2028 ambitions, he added, "If you asked me right now if I'm going to play in 2028, it's 4 years from now. I'd have to take time and think about that, so I'm not going to make any decision based on how this experience was or how I feel individually." Tatum also expressed his disappointment earlier at not being used enough during the games while mentioning he has had support. "A lot of people text me and reached out and said, 'Make sure this fuels you,' which I appreciate. There's a lot of people that care about me," Tatum said. "I think the tough part is, yes, you can use things to fuel you, but I'm still human," he said. Tatum's situation has taken some shine off USA's gold medal triumph, even when the Celtics star called for it not to take away from the team's success. By winning the gold, Kerr's selection and tactics were justified, but for Tatum, Paris may not be a highly memorable outing from an individual point of view. He will look to answer many questions when the new NBA season tips off and lay down a marker with the LA 2028 in sight. The Olympics may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. Team USA brought home the gold, but now everyone's wondering, could we see some of these superstars teaming up in the NBA? LeBron and Steph lighting it up together, KD and Booker joining forces, the possibilities are endless. We've seen Olympic teammates become NBA powerhouses before, from the Heatless to the Warriors dynasty. Will Olympic chemistry lead to NBA championships? Let's break it down. Now for the question you've been dying to ask for 3 weeks about the Team USA men's basketball Avengers. With their gold medal mission accomplished, which players on this star-studded squad are going to join forces on an NBA team down the road? With the national team's rich history of such things, it's only natural to wonder. The Miami Heat-less trio of LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh that teamed up in 2010 had USAB roots, as they grew close while playing together in the 2006 FIBA World Cup in Japan and Beijing Olympics in 2008. The Golden State Warriors dynasty had a similar story, with Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, and Stephen Curry bonding in Turkey at the FIBA World Cup in 2010, then finding a way to come together 6 years later. Iguodala and Durant were also together on the 2012 Olympic team in London. Just last week, longtime NBA veteran and ESPN commentator Kendrick Perkins claimed that James Harden, while playing for Team USA at the London Olympics, was strongly encouraged by his superstar teammates to leave his sixth-man role with the Oklahoma City Thunder that summer and pursue a more worthy role elsewhere. He would be the centerpiece of the Houston Rockets by that October. But the tricky part about this phenomenon, and the thing that makes it so hard to handicap whether we'll see a super team spawned out of the Paris Games, is that you'd need telepathic powers to figure out if any of these all-stars are truly thinking about playing together down the road. This sort of process isn't typically linear, with other developments needing to unfold on each player's respective NBA squad before those Team USA connections come into play. What's more, the freedom that comes with free agency, more often than not, plays a part. Yet when it comes to the relationships that appear to have grown these past 4 weeks, from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi, London, Lille, and the City of Light, there are a few worth highlighting and monitoring. But the thing to remember, and the factor that always plays a pivotal part when stars decide to align, is that it all starts with the competitive status of their current team. To that end, we begin with two legends in advanced age who have 8 NBA championships between them, but whose teams missed the playoffs entirely last year. Let's talk about LeBron and Steph. This one gets top billing because of what went down at the February trade deadline when we learned Curry's Warriors made an unsuccessful bid to the Lakers for LeBron. That sort of breadcrumb, one that was so fascinating to consider after all the years they'd spent as rivals during all those Cavs-Warriors NBA Finals face-offs, tells you two things that still remain relevant. Curry had given a thumbs up to the idea, which reflects a level of comfort between the two, even before they worked so beautifully together en route to Olympic gold. The Warriors clearly had intel suggesting this was a pitch worth making. At the time, James was approaching his possible free agency, and there seemed to be enough questions as to whether he'd want to stay in Lakerland that it led to a conversation between Golden State owner Joe Lacob and the Lakers' Jeannie Buss. At the time, James signaled he'd rather stay put, and the whole idea died on the vine as a result. But he would go on to sign a 2-year, $100 to $1.4 million deal, one that includes a player option in the second year and a no-trade clause. Point being, the same Warriors-Lakers dynamics could be there again this upcoming season, especially if the Lakers are struggling in the kind of way that makes James rethink his strategy in these final few years. As a relevant side note, Team USA, our Warriors coach Steve Kerr, seemed to click with James all the way through as well. There's one massive problem with that plan, though. Bronny James now plays for the Lakers. It's hard to imagine LeBron wanting to go anywhere now that his son is wearing the purple and gold. So, could the 36-year-old Curry become so fed up with the diminished help around him in Warriors world that he heads for the exits and somehow pairs up with the 39-year-old James and fellow Team USA star 31-year-old Anthony Davis? It seems unlikely, what with Curry's stated goal of playing his entire career with the Warriors. But he's a competitor of the highest order, one who just saw his team say goodbye this summer to his beloved backcourt mate Klay Thompson, this summer while failing in its pursuits of Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. With that backdrop, it's worth a reminder that he made this ominous comment to Yahoo Sports' Vincent Goodwill while at Team USA's Las Vegas training camp in early July. "It's always been my goal, and I'm saying that sitting in this chair right now," Curry said about retiring with the Warriors. But like you said, life, and especially life in the NBA, it is a wild environment and things change quickly. In terms of Curry's contract, he has 2 seasons left, $55.8 million and $59.6 million, and is eligible to add 1 more year on an extension this summer. Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. made it clear what the organization wants, telling our Anthony Slater that Curry can have whatever he wants, and that he is pretty confident he will be a Warrior for life. The fact that they clearly enjoyed each other's company, constantly goofing around at practices and celebrating with such joy together after the biggest of wins, is of equal importance. When it was over, after Curry put France to bed with that 3-point flurry and said nuit nuit before closing the door, James decided to post the picture that perfectly captured their shared spirit. The news conference after the Team USA gold medal game, with Kerr, Curry, and Kevin Durant all raving about one another on the same podium, was the kind of thing I never could have imagined 5 years ago. It happened from start to finish, with Durant and Curry sharing a mutual admiration society news conference at the start of the Olympics as well. When Durant left Golden State for Brooklyn in free agency, there was a fair amount of shared baggage from their 3 years spent together. You don't have to be Dr. Phil to figure that out, as Durant came very close to winning 3 consecutive championships, within a torn Achilles tendon in fact, yet chose to head for the exits. But feelings evolve over time, and Curry and Durant spent the entire Team USA journey sharing the kind of deep reverence that was there during the best of times in their Warriors days. On Curry's side, it was notable the first-time Olympian would routinely reference Durant's 3 gold medals, now 4, and standing as the best Team USA player of all time. Durant, in turn, spoke glowingly about who Curry was and remains both on and off the floor, Yet while the Warriors are clearly on the prowl for another big-time star, and with a known commodity like Durant certainly fitting that bill, Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia emphatically insisted the 35-year-old wasn't going anywhere in late June in response to speculation of a possible Durant departure. NBA draft night is the best. Everyone talking about the drama and storylines, some are right and some are just wrong. Matt Ishbia said, "My turn. Phoenix loves Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant loves Phoenix, and we are competing for a championship this year because we have the team to do it. Gotta." But how might Ishbia feel if they fall short again? Or Durant, fellow Team USA member Devin Booker, or Bradley Beal for that matter? Only time will tell, but the Suns' first-round loss to Minnesota in last season's playoffs wasn't the sort of start any of them envisioned in their first season together. When the gold medal game news conference was nearing an end, after they all fielded several questions about Curry, Durant, and James, Kerr grabbed the microphone and announced that he had one more thing on his mind. "Devin Booker is an incredible basketball player," said Kerr, who chose to start Booker for every Olympic game en route to him, averaging 11.7 points, team best 56.5% from three, and 3.3 assists. Nobody asked about him, but he was our unsung MVP. I just wanted to say that. Curry, in turn, posted Kerr's quote on his Instagram story and added the caption, "Damn straight," while tagging Booker's account. For someone like Kerr, who is typically bound by the NBA's tampering rules that tend to suppress an opposing coach's public enthusiasm for another team's stars, the Team USA environment allows him to speak his mind in the kind of way that could aid a recruiting effort one day. That's not to say it was his intent, as Kerr seemed deeply genuine about Booker's contributions. Even still, it's a pretty convenient way to show a star player like Booker the kind of love he'll never forget. What's more, the truth about the Suns is that rival teams are monitoring the desires of Durant and Booker. The Rockets, to cite one example I reported in late June, are among those teams that have Booker on their wish list. But again, Ishbia has pushed back hard on this premise that these Suns will fail, and he'll be forced to blow it up amid all that pressure from the unforgiving luxury tax. They're more invested in Booker than anyone else, with his contract running 4 more seasons for a combined total of approximately $220 million, and the notion of him being available anytime soon seems very unlikely. To hear Booker tell it at Team USA's Vegas training camp in early July, he's every bit as invested in this Suns group as Ishbia. "I mean, I've never seen an owner do something like that before," Booker said when I asked him about Ishbia's tweet about Durant. "It just shows you what type of guy Matt is. He's all in on the group that we have. We believe in the group that we have and the talent that we have. It's not easy to win a title. So I think having that hurt together and that experience together in the playoffs is going to help us moving forward." Boston went through it before winning it all in June. Obviously, the Celtics addition of Drew Holiday last summer helped out a lot. But yeah, moving forward, you live and you learn, and I think experience is the best teacher. Truth be told, we could workshop these fascinating scenarios all day. Anthony Edwards and Durant became fast friends who were dynamic together in Team USA's second unit. So does that mean the 23-year-old Minnesota Timberwolves star might find a way to persuade his favorite player to force a trade to his frigid part of the country? Don't count on it, from either side. After Minnesota's run to the Western Conference Finals last season, and with Edwards' star on a meteoric rise, it's so far so good for him with his current core. Joel Embiid was desperately in need of help a few months ago, but the Philadelphia 76ers are all set for their next push after landing George in free agency and re-signing Tyrese Maxey. Could Heat big man Bam Adebayo, whose running mate, Jimmy Butler, can be a free agent next summer, find the help he so desperately needs among his Team USA pals? Perhaps, but there are no visible dots to connect just yet.